Hi, my name is Dr. Dad Gaming and welcome to my YouTube channel. First things first is a little bit about myself. I have a PhD in engineering and a regular 9 to 5 job where I do research. I've been playing games since I can remember, from the Sega Genesis and Atari to now a PS5, Xbox Series X, and a gaming PC. I am obviously a dad and I am quite busy with my real job in real life, but I still make time for gaming and I really wanted to try this thing called YouTube and as a passion project of mine. My goal is to help out those individuals who are busy with kids, work, etc., to maximize their gaming experience. I intend to do reviews, first impressions, and other content, and judge them based on how well the games can work within a limited gaming schedule. My primary tool will be the Dataverse, which will use a metric-based system, which I will describe here shortly, to determine how good a game is, and which will be personified by a famous dad. The four metrics I currently have are the typical game rating, from IGN, wherever gaming websites out there, any other YouTube are out there who rates games, time investment efficiency, the returning ease and accessibility, all those things. So, these weights are what I selected for them. You can change them around and get your own number if you want, because this ranking is for you. And after all these scores have been tallied and I enter it into my handy dandy Excel spreadsheet, it'll spit me out the final score, which I'll round to a whole number to reveal its dad persona. But a little bit more about these ratings is the typical game rating, self-explanatory. The time investment efficiency, what I intend to do is take the things into account, such as the average time to beat, the money per time invested. So if you did 50 hours per and you spent $50, that would be $1 per hour. And then another metric being the returning ease. If you take weeks at a time in between playing, how easy is it to come back from the controls, the story, what internal progress tracking to find out where you were. The last one being accessibility. I'm not talking about, visuals, accessibility or anything like that, but this is more of, how accessible it is for multiplayer, from a person who's really busy, difficulty settings, learning curve, and the typical time you need to play to feel productive. So if you can only play 30 minutes at a time, you don't want to pick up a game where it takes you an hour and a half just to get anything done. So that's just a little bit about that rating system. And as we start rating games here and there, we'll start understanding it a little bit better. And if it doesn't seem to be working out, we can always change it. So the Dataverse. Here are the first 10 dads of the Dataverse that I selected and ranked according to how good of a dad they are. Best of the best being Bandit Healer, which I think all the parents out there will agree. The next couple, Phil Dunphy, Philip Banks, and Harry Jeffords from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So these three could probably be mixed and matched in any which way, but this is the way that I have them, and if you don't like it, please let me know in the comments below. The next three, you've got Homer Simpson, Red Foreman, and Darth Vader. All dads that had some sort of redeeming qualities, but there's a little bit left to be desired. And then the next two, Peter Griffin and Tywin Lannister, which are undoubtedly not the best role models or fathers. And the worst of the worst here is Denethor. And honestly, regardless of what he did trying to burn Faramir alive, I do believe that his true crime is against tomatoes. But that being said, feel free to give me feedback on the rating system or the Dataverse. And this is just my first cut. Like I said, it can be changed. And I hope to see you around for the next couple videos. Thanks. This is Dr. Dad signing off.